You may think you've prepared for retirement. You've planned the finances. You've dreamed of the trips. You've counted down the days. But did you prepare for the silence? That 6 a.m. alarm that doesn't go off. That 9 a.m. meeting that no longer exists. That feeling of emptiness when the work calendar disappears. For so many, this new chapter doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like a fog, a mental fog that creeps in. You walk into a room and forget why. You grope for a name that was right on the tip of your tongue, and a cold fear starts to settle in. Is this it? Is this the inevitable decline? Is this the start of me fading? We worry about cognitive decline, about Alzheimer's. But what if I told you that, for most retirees, this mental fog isn't a memory problem, it's a purpose problem? The good news is, your brain is not broken, it's bored, it's missing two essential ingredients. Today, we are not just listing 10 foods to eat. We are exposing the two hidden, silent enemies that are eroding your brain power after retirement. And most importantly, we will show you the science-backed plan to defeat them. The first hidden enemy, isolation. The first and most obvious enemy, social isolation. When you leave the office, you don't just lose a job. You don't just lose a paycheck. You lose the casual conversations by the coffee machine. You lose the team lunches. You lose the shared complaints, the inside jokes, the daily human friction. You lose your built-in social network. And this is far more dangerous than we realize. Our brains are, by design, social organs. They are wired for connection. A real, face-to-face conversation is one of the most complex things your brain can do. It forces you to process language in real time. It demands you read tiny nonverbal cues. It makes you listen, empathize, and formulate a response. Social interaction is a high-intensity, full-body workout for your mind. When you suddenly and dramatically remove that daily workout, what happens? Your brain's gym closes down. The pathways that were once busy and active grow quiet. And this is where the danger truly lies. This isn't just a feeling. This is biological. Are you ready for the shocking fact? According to the official landmark 2023 report from the U.S. Surgeon General, the mortality impact of chronic loneliness is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. We are terrified of smoking, but we overlook the loneliness that is just as deadly. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. Major studies funded by the National Institute on Aging, or NIA, confirm this. One 2025 meta-analysis found that social isolation increases your risk of developing dementia by 26%, and the feeling of loneliness? That increases the risk by 32%. It is directly and undeniably linked to a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Social isolation is the first silent killer. It acts like a slow-acting poison, convincing you that you are safe at home, when in reality, you are cutting off the very stimulation your brain needs to survive. But as dangerous as isolation is, it is often just a symptom of a much deeper problem, a void that is even more profound. The deeper enemy, a loss of purpose. The second hidden enemy, a lack of purpose. Let's be truly honest with ourselves. For 40 years, you had a mission. It might have been finishing a project on deadline. It might have been raising your children. It might have been leading your team, or teaching a class, or healing a patient. You had a reason to get up on Monday morning. You had a reason to push through challenges. You were valued. You were needed. The day you retire, that mission vanishes, and your brain, which is a mission-seeking machine, enters a state of shock. It goes into hibernation. That feeling of uselessness begins to creep in. Why bother when there's no deadline? Why learn something new when no one is asking you to? Comfort. Comfort becomes the default choice, and comfort is the enemy of a sharp brain. A report from AARP's Global Council on Brain Health stated it with perfect clarity. They said, a sense of connection plus a purpose in life equals better brain health. Purpose is the fuel. Purpose is the why that drives you to learn, to engage, and to overcome challenges. It's what keeps your neural pathways firing and forming new connections. Without a why, the what and how don't matter. And this is the most important insight of our entire discussion today. This is the key. It is because we lose our purpose that we allow ourselves to become isolated. You don't call old friends because you feel you have nothing new to talk about. You don't join that community club because you don't see the point. You see, purpose is the root of the tree. Isolation is just the branch. If you only treat the isolation, you're just trimming a dying branch. We must feed the root. So, how do we regrow that tree? How do we, in this new blank canvas chapter of our lives, find a new mission? The two-part reactivation plan. We need a two-part protocol. It's simple, it's backed by science, and it starts today. We don't just need to reconnect, we need to find a new mission. First, we must be proactive and intentional about fighting isolation. We must rebuild our social gym. This is not optional, it is essential. Organizations from the Mayo Clinic to the National Institute on Aging all agree this is a non-negotiable step for brain health. So, what does this look like in practice? It looks like volunteering. AARP calls this one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. When you volunteer, it immediately provides two things: a schedule and a new team. You're instantly connecting with new people who share your values. It doesn't matter if it's at the local library, the animal shelter, or the hospital, you are re-engaging. It also looks like joining a group, a local art class, a walking club, a gardening group, a book club. Anything that gets you out of the house and interacting with people, face to face. This is the first step, reconnect. But to make it stick, to make it last, you need that why. You need that new mission. This brings us to the second and most important part of the plan, repurpose. Your brain is craving a challenge. You need to give it one. There are two powerful ways to do this. First, become a mentor. Your 40 or 50 years of professional skill are priceless. Do not let them go to waste. Find a younger person who is just starting out in your field. Offer to coach them. The act of teaching, of mentoring, is a profound cognitive workout. It forces your brain to retrieve old information, organize it coherently, and communicate it clearly. It reminds you that you are still valued, that you are still needed. Second, and perhaps most powerful of all, become a student. You must learn a new complex skill. This is the single best way to build what neuroscientists call neuroplasticity. That is the brain's magical ability to change, adapt, and grow new neural pathways, even in old age. The science is clear. The aging brain retains this power, but you have to use it. Learn to play the guitar, learn a new language, learn to use that new piece of technology you've been avoiding. The goal is not to become a genius. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be a beginner. The goal is to be uncomfortable. The goal is to challenge the brain, to stretch it, to force it to build new roads. This is how you tell your brain, every single day, we are not done yet. There is still more to learn. Your new mission, your brain power after retirement is not found in a supplement bottle. It's not in a magic pill. It is found in connection. And it is found in mission. It is found in the joy of a shared laugh with a new friend at a volunteer event. It is found in the frustration and then the triumph of finally playing that new chord on the guitar. It is found in being a dedicated grandparent. a respected mentor, a curious student. Retirement is not the end of your mind. It is not a decline. It is the chance to finally use it in a whole new way. Finding that new mission is the most critical step. In our next video, we will explore 5 specific science-backed hobbies and volunteer roles that not only give you a mission, but actively build a sharper brain. Make sure to watch that next. But now, I want to ask you something important. Since retiring, what new mission or connection has given you energy? What new purpose have you found? Your answer, your story, might be the light that someone else reading in the comments needs to see today. Please share your experience in the comments below. This content is for informational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet or treatment plan.